Okay, as you can see, I put the crank in here, and then I'm gonna go grab the plastic gauge. Okay, so when you buy plastic gauge, this is pretty much what you're gonna get. They have different brands, but I like to use this one. This is from like Advanced Auto or AutoZone. Anyway, you open it a little bit and you see this weird piece of hair, pretty much. It's like thin plastic. Anyway, what you're gonna do, you're gonna split it up and you're gonna set it right on the top, like horizontal. Sometimes it can be pretty tricky because it does stick to your fingers a little bit. But I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Pretty much you're gonna do that in all 5, because that's what we're measuring today. Put that plastic piece down. Essentially what this is gonna do is get squished. And then we're gonna line it up with one of these marks right here and see what the actual clearance is. And we're gonna grab the main girdle with the bearings in it. Take these. Just set this right on top, being very careful not to mix or mess any of the plastic gauge we just set down up. Okay, so I'm gonna torque this down. This happens to be 22 foot-pounds and then 56 degrees. After you do that, you loosen everything, pull the cap off or the girdle, and then check the clearances. Okay, so I've torqued everything down. I already loosened it all, and now all you gotta do is take the main girdle off. Sure, I'm just using a little stud on each side. As you can tell, I'm not hitting very hard at all. Just a couple taps. Pulls right off. Set that down. And then you can see right here how the plastic got squished on all of them. They all look really close, actually. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this paper to get the exact reading. You're gonna line it up and see which one it matches the most. This one looks like so the end ones are a little loose at 0.002 inches, and then all 3 of these middle ones are at this 0.0015. which I'm pretty positive it's in spec, but I'm gonna look it up right now and make sure. Okay, so I just checked it, and they're all okay. They're a little loose, but since it's a NA motor and it's for my grandma, I think it's gonna be fine, to be honest. So throw it all back together, and then we'll go to rods. Also, don't forget to clean off the plastic gauge if you're doing this. One thing that's really easy to forget about are these thrust washers. They go, I'm pretty sure this is number 4. You just lube them up and the slots go on the outside. Also, when putting any kind of motor together, don't be afraid of using assembly lube. It's arguably one of the best things created. All this is gonna do is make sure your motor doesn't start up dry, which is very important, because you could prematurely damage the whole motor before you even start doing anything with it, which would really suck, especially if you put this much work into it and start it up and it spins the rod bearing. So yeah, don't be afraid to use a lot of assembly. Okay, so before I I put the main girdle on, I'm gonna put the rear main seal in. This is just a Velcro one. See better. Just gotta make sure sometimes it helps if you pull the crank out a little bit. Yeah, that's what I'm going to put the crank out. You guys are probably like, what is taking so long? Just like put it on. I'm just being super careful. There is a spring on the inside that kind of hugs the crank, if you will, and it's easy to get it reversed, and then obviously the rear main seal won't be sealing anything. So yeah, it is taking me forever. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. Just gotta be really careful when you put this rear main in to not pinch or mess up the spring. Just make sure it's perfectly seated. And yeah, it helped me taking out the crank, so you might have to do that as well. Just reseat this bearing real fast. Check everything else before you put it back together. All the other bearings are good. So then what I'm going to do, okay, so most of the motor gets sealed up with this Honda Bond. You could use other RTV, but I would recommend Honda Bond just because it's the OEM spec stuff. And I haven't had problems with it, so yeah, what you're gonna want to do is put a light layer pretty much on all the surfaces that need to be sealed. And this is right before you torque down the main girdle for good. Okay, all these 12 mils get torqued down to 16. Like I said before, these are 22 and then 56. But yeah, the girdle's on, the crank's in, it spins relatively easy. You can tell it's loose. Shouldn't be an issue though. Now, I'm gonna flip it over, put the rods and pistons in, torque all that down, then I can put the pan on after I put the oil pump, like the timing stuff of course, and then yeah, put the head on, get it all done. Okay, so the arrow always points to the timing stuff. You can see intake this side. So for the oil ring gaps, I put them down here. Second ring I put right here, and top ring I put up here. That's just so they're all, that's the spec for a B series. I'm pretty sure it's the same for K series. That's what I'm gonna run right now. And yeah. When you're putting pistons in, it should be super messy. And you just want to get everything coated with oil just so you don't scratch the cylinder walls when it's getting put back together. Coat that. You could always wipe it down, so don't worry about that. Set this here for now. can never have too much oil. Unless, I guess, you're putting it inside the motor and it's trying to run, then you could definitely have too much. I'm gonna line these up one more time. Put the ring compressor on. Loosen it a little bit. So I like to leave the skirts hanging down just so it can line up nicely. Set that in there, tighten it. Then you'll hit this. Make sure this is good. Put this down a little bit, make it line up a little better. Tighten it as much as you can. Make sure this is fully down. Sometimes you might have to redo it. In this case, the oil ring's didn't get compressed enough. So what I'm gonna do is loosen this a little bit. Bring it back down past the oil rings. Tighten it again. Try to get it a little more tight. Again, fully seat this down. Bam. Don't worry if it's a little twisted here. We could untwist it up top or on the bottom, I mean. Just get that straight. But that's pretty much all you do. Okay, I got the oil pump on. I haven't torqued these down yet, but I have it all timed up. For these ones, it's crucial you get them timed correctly. As you can see, that dot points to the arrow points to the dot right there. And then it's at top dead center. It's kind of hard to see, but there's two arrows pointing towards each other. Okay, the oil pan's on. It's all torqued down. I still have it set to top dead center. Oil pump's timed, and I gotta flip it over and then put the head on. Okay, towards the end I got carried away and just put everything together. I forgot to record a lot of the footage, but as you can see, it's in here. Front's back together, the radiator's in. I had to get a new AC compressor because the one that was in here was so messed up. Let's try to start it real fast. Let's see, it should start up relatively quick. There's still a check engine light. I haven't cleared any of the codes yet, but it runs really well. which that's exactly what I'd expect. Tell there's no weird noises or anything.